Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. Welcome back to ILAM MCO webinar series number 4. Today we'll be talking about alternative ways of teaching and learning landscape architecture. First, allow me to introduce myself. I am LAR Dr. Khalila Zakaria, an ILAM counsel for the education. And I'm also an associate professor from the Department of Landscape Architecture from International Islamic University Malaysia, IIUM. So in the previous sessions of ILAM webinar, we have talked about the new norm, which is how post-COVID-19 and MCO has changed a lot of the ways of how we do things. In the previous webinar, there has also been a discussion about the role of environment in outbreak prevention. And recently, we talked about the reformation of landscape architectural practice post-pandemic. So today, we'll be talking about education. Now, COVID-19 has struck the world, and this is definitely something that none of us could have foreseen or expected. We did not think that this is how our 2020 would be, didn't we? Universities worldwide had to shut down, just like schools, and now classrooms, lectures, have to move online or remote and be conducted wherever you live, probably at home, in your bedroom, or staying at home and still trying to learn. But in the midst of crisis and any disruption, education still have to find ways to go on. So today, ILAM brings you a panel of local and international educators of landscape architecture from Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore. And our panels will share insights on how they have used alternative methods of teaching and learning landscape architecture. And I believe that this is something that not only for COVID-19 and the current pandemic, but something that we need to start to think in case in the future other sort of disruptions might happen. So it is my great pleasure to introduce and welcome our panels. With us today, first of all, we have Mr. Ronnie Tan, from School of Design Temasek Polytechnic in Singapore. Ronnie is also the president for Singapore Institute of Landscape Architects, SILA. Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Ronnie. If you can say hi,
everybody.
How are you?
Hi. Hi, everyone.
It's glad to have you on board. Okay, and then next we have Dr. Razia Ahmad, the head of Center of Studies for Landscape Architecture from University Technology Mara, UITM. Dr. Razia, how are you doing?
I'm good. Hello, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today.
Welcome.
And then all the way from the northern part of, above Malaysia, we have Associate Professor Dr. Arya Aruninta from Chulalongkorn University, Bangkok, Thailand. Good day, Dr. Arya.
Hi. Sawadee-ka.
Sawadee-ka. And from our southern state in Malaysia, we have Professor LAR, Dr. Hassanuddin Lamid, from Department of Landscape Architecture, University Technology Malaysia, UTM. Assalamualaikum, Prof. How are you?
Salam. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you.
Yeah. It's always nice to hear these vibrant voices of educators, because as we know, education is something that needs to be resilient to change, adaptable, and it needs to be agile, because no matter what, we are, nurturing students and teaching students with knowledge, not only to equip them to enter the industry, but also to, allow them to grow into a balanced and harmonious human being. So to kick off the first round, I would like to hear the panel's insights on how the pedagogy or teaching and learning have changed in their respective institutions. Let's go to Bangkok and listen to Dr. Arya. Dr. Arya teaches, other than studio, professional practice, and also landscape construction. So I've always been wondering, studios, we know, like Ronnie shared, we can share about designs online and use tools like iPad, Procreate, or any kind of tablet to give feedback. And even WhatsApp, like Dr. Razia showed, one of the simplest tools to ensure that communication can still go through. Now, I look forward to Dr. Arya to share how Chulalongkorn University, and especially her courses, does in terms of introducing alternative methods for teaching and learning. Welcome, Dr. Arya.
Yes. First of all, thank you, ILAM and also Kalila to invited me to this webinar. And I would like also to express my experience to all of you. I will share you some slides. Okay. The topic of today will be about the alternative way of teaching and learning in landscape architecture, the experience in Chulalongkorn University. So I would like to start with this one. It's about the first step, that only one small step for the man, but I think it's one giant leap for the mankind. Sorry. This is what we are facing now. Chulalongkorn University, one of the oldest university and the top rank in Thailand and Southeast Asia. Chulalongkorn University is already 104 years old, and our Department of Landscape Architecture, where I teaching, is about 43 years old. So during the very first spread of the coronavirus in February, we have experienced this. Now, during this time, during February the 17th to about 2 weeks, we have to host an international workshop with Japan, Indonesia, in Bangkok, Thailand. So we invite them to come to Bangkok in February 17. But as you see from the announcement, 2 days later, in 19th of February, Chulalongkorn University start to announce the protective measure against the spread of the COVID-19. And during the workshop, again, in 21st of February, the measure become more stronger and heavier. So our groups of students, unfortunately, 3 of the Japanese students from Hokkaido University had some fever after the field trip. And now we have to send those 3 students to the hospital, which located in a remote island, Tichang Island, which is the property of Chulalongkorn University. And all of the group have to cancel everything and came back to Chulalongkorn University and have some initial investigation about the COVID. Fortunately, everybody were negative. And after that, Chulalongkorn University also have introduced all the announcement that we have to move everything online. During that time, in March 16, we haven't closed the university yet. So we start to move everything online. So for the platform we have, we already subscribed Google Suite packet, which means all our students and teachers can access to the Google with unlimited storage. And also Microsoft, we can access to the application Microsoft Teams with unlimited also. So we try to move everything, including all the class, to be online, to prepare everything for the lockdown. And later in March 22nd, we have to temporarily close. One of our staff also infected with the COVID. And also we have many, many announcements, including temporary workplace closure. Start from the March 22nd to April 12th. So our department have very much concern about this situation. So in 25th of March, after 3 days after the lockdown of our university, our department have a meeting, and we try to think about our semester, which start from January until the May. What happened? Now we are during the almost the midterm break. And what happened for the midterm examination and also the other studio, which also maybe the second project of the semester, and also final examination, and also final project jury, what's going to happen. So we think about different platforms and different applications, and this is what I study for the department meeting. So we study about the Google, which Chulalongkorn University already subscribed, and also we also have Chula.zoom, which is we also subscribe the packet for all the lectures and teaching staff, but not for the student. But the student can join the Zoom meeting from the hosting of the teacher. And also we have Google Jamboard. We study also the Microsoft Whiteboard that may be good for the studio deck quiz. And also we try to convince everybody to start the virtual classroom and distance learning. I introduced my colleague about the Google Classroom, about how to do the examination, how to put the assignment, and also I also introduced them about how to do the quiz form to do the grading system and examination. And we already have the Google Drive and also OneDrive with unlimited folder. So we have to make use of that. And we consider about the step-by-step how to convince the student to do this. Oh, I forget to tell you that all the things like internet difficulty in our university, some of the students also have some problem. But Chulalongkorn University offers them the internet SIM card, so they can get it free from our university. So the students have no problem with the internet access. But for the computers, so most of our students, especially Faculty of Architecture and also our department, landscape architecture, they all have a notebook, laptop for doing like AutoCAD and also some presentation of the project. So they have no problem. And this is the courses that I teach. So we start with this international workshop. We have a design studio, project design for third year students, which is in the second project of the term. Usually we will do the urban project. So this year we cannot go out to the urban site visits. So we have the idea to do, I will show you later. And also we have construction, number 2 for the first year grad student. We have critical thinking class and professional practice. And this class is very interesting because I try to ask the student to understand more about the health issue, especially about the pandemic of the COVID-19. And the student also present the project about the COVID-19, very nice. And this is how the studio, this is a professional practice, the firm project have been presenting. This is about the BOQ and also the firm project. It's what they do. And this is the final thesis, the fifth year thesis jury. So we invite all the jurors from many places, including this Mangkon from IFRA, the former Thala president and some of the special guests. And the students have to submit the video to our classroom folder, and then they have to appear online during the presentation to answer the question. And this is how the students work paperless. I mean, they have to do the paperless because this is like the drawing that have to put on the wall, like 2.5 meters long and 1.5 meters high, but they present online. And this is the juror. And this is how the juror can enlarge and see, expand the photos and see online with the student. And this is how the student work in the whole, the Zoom of the whole thing, Zoom all. So we consider about the final examination now. So we consider about what kind of classroom and examination room it should be. It can be video meeting, it can be the take home, or it can be file uploading, or what kind of examination. Finally, we decide to have examination from homes. So this is how our students do the examination. And we have the examination uploaded on the classroom with the form and the grading system. And the student can submit because of the Google Suite. So they can submit all kind of files into the folder. They can take the photos of the sketch and also can do on the computer during the time provided, and then they submit. And this is how I check the behavior of the student during the examination. So I can click each person photos and to check whether they have doing something bad. But we use the honor system and the student did it so well. So after that, we have this. Chulalongkorn University extend another to lockdown. From 12th of April, from the first time to the second time, the purple one, to the end of April, which is before the examination. And now they extend to May 31st, after the examination. So this is what I see. Another thing for the, I think the last thing that I would like to show you that the situation is bad, but we try to find the opportunity between the bad thing. This is what I convince and assist our 10 years old sister university in northeastern part of Thailand. Usually I have to fly from Bangkok to Khon Kaen airport and take about 1 hour car to Mahasarakham to do the jury, to comment to my student. But now I can assist them to do the design competition to American Society of Landscape Architects. So even though I want to be back to school, finished the examination last Friday. I feel very released now, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity for the new alternative way of learning. I don't think the bad COVID situation going to be our unfortunate of the thing happen. But we're looking forward to be more resilient and to adapt for the future and to produce more young generation for our future.
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Arya. From your sharing just now, it seems that, although in universities might feel that this is something new to go totally 100% online, but after that sort of learning period, everything sort of stabilized, and then, lecturers get used to it, students also get used to it, and then education can go on as normal. And now we discovered that, things that usually we could do, we would have to rely on doing face-to-face could actually be done online. And it's interesting to see how you shared about, having such large number of juries for your students' presentation. And of course, definitely after this, we could have global juries for all of our universities. And I think that this is one of the good outcomes of the MCO, is that before this, we know that we can have sort of this discussion, but we didn't have the push factor to do it. And then look at us today. We're talking, 3 countries sharing about our teaching and learning methodologies, which probably we have not done before on such, an international platform. Thanks again, Dr. Arya.
I would like to join your class, jury.
Oh, okay.
Possible.
Yes, we can
finish all the
touch on
class.
that.
Do you finish all the class?
Oh, so for my university, for ILAM, we actually have not yet started online learning. So the university gave the student an early break. So officially for IIUM, we will start on the 1st of June. So this is actually very beneficial for us too, because like Chulalongkorn, Temasek Polytechnic, UITM, and after this UTM have all embarked on it. And then I think so far it has been a great learning, even for me personally, to know of the different approaches that could be done. All right, so we're going to go to sort of getting like a lightning round to get very quick feedback on some of the questions that I have. Right, so to Dr. Arya. Dr. Arya, you seem to be very well versed and in using various different apps and then embracing technology for all your classes. For you, I would like to ask you, if you could share some encouragement or motivational words to lecturers. Dr. Razia shared about students. How about to lecturers? How can you encourage them to also be, ready for changes and then embrace all this new technology?
As I show you at the beginning of the slide, that I already introduced this kind of application and technology to my colleague in my department. So what I found out is even the oldest colleague already complete doing Zoom meeting and even make the comment interactive with the student via Jamboard and also whiteboard. So during the Zoom, we present not only the static slides, but we comment the student with the drawing and with the rhyme. And as you already saw from the video, that we comment and the student answer is very simple to everybody. I think we know how to use pen, sketch, and we know how to communicate through our brain, through the hand, through the graphic communication, and through verbally. So I think everybody can do that. And I would like to answer the former question about the skill that we have to vet in the future. I think it's very important, not only Googling, but we have to have critical and creative thinking. So that's why in our department, we focus very much on the course name creative and critical thinking. So this is not about creative in our design studio, but we taught the students how to read, how to be the critical reader, how to be the critical thinking, and how to communicate the design into different media. Not only the papers, but also the video, the mock-up modeling, or even the as-built, design build project. So I think everybody, including the older generation like ours, like us, so we can encourage everybody to teach the student that kind of skill. So I think this is very important. So you don't give up about your ability to understand the technology, but I think the technology is only the tool, similar to the ruler, similar to the calculator, the former calculator. You can use computers. Everybody can use computers.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arya. And you're right, you know, it's not about the age. You could be digital natives or you could be senior lecturers or professors. Like today, we have sort of different generations of academics and they're from different backgrounds. But it's also the, you know, learning, taking it, you know, a day at a time, and also adapting to the changes and just keep learning. You know, that's what academics do too. Okay, I think the lesson that we learned today is in terms of being very creative and also very critical in how we do our alternative teaching and learning. All right, so I would like to share with you 5 key points that I gathered from all of the speakers. You know, the first one is the detachment. Currently, we're facing detachment of social and environmental interaction because we know we can't go out. We are probably able to go out in our immediate environment, but this in return would make us become perhaps more attentive to what is around us and reminding us of the need to reconnect more before. As Prof mentioned, we learn 2 ways, learning from the environment and also how the environment influences or shape what we learn. The second point is in terms of, as what Dr. Arya have shared, in terms of the topics of discussion for the class and projects. Now, I was very happy to see that Dr. Arya shared some of her assignments are about a pandemic-related project. So we can take the opportunity to bring this situation to our students to encourage them to do critical thinking and problem solving. And then number 3 is bridging the world. You know, it might be bridging from different countries, like bringing different juries from various parts of the states, even to bringing people to the homes of the lecturers or the students. Like Dr. Razia shared, where the lecturers shared about the plants in her own probably front yard and used that material to teach. Maybe before this, we looked really far and we forget what is it that we have around us immediately. So trying to, you know, stay back in tune with what we have. And then number 4, we talk about tools. Now, I think nowadays I'm very thankful because of internet and the various webinars. Me too, I'm able to learn many different tools. I think all of the panels have shared the different types of apps that they use to create students and give feedback. But also another most important thing is the attitude and actually the content of what we want to teach. And the final one, what I can conclude is in terms of communication and mindfulness. So this could be in terms of communicating the lessons or, you know, the on the project systematically, you know, giving clear feedback, because we know that unclear communication can make people stress out of not knowing what needs to be done. Okay, and then also being mindfulness of the situations that both lecturers and students have to go through. Like Ronnie pointed out, you know, not only students have to go online, but the lecturers may also have children who have to go through online schools. So they have to teach students and also looking into the lessons of their children. So, you know, showing support for our students. And then I think the basic things of even asking, you know, how they are doing. Maybe how our students are doing and also how our colleagues are doing. Because I think as educators, we cannot separate the technical or the mind and the knowledge with the heart, because this is something different that we do. Because in order to transmit knowledge, you know, it must come from, you know, both the brain and also the heart. So in wrapping up, I'd like to invite each of the panel, if they wanted to wish anything to the audience or to address to the public? Because this will be the final session of webinar for this MCO. Hopefully we can have more webinar of this. So first, Ronnie, anything that you want to share with last words?
I want to say thank you very much for inviting me to this webinar. I mean, I've enjoyed the previous sessions of the webinar on which I was the audience. Thanks for inviting me to come and share what are some of the things that I've learned along the way as well. I guess it's a learning journey for everybody, isn't it, on this online learning thingy. I want to wish everybody the best of health. Selamat Hari Raya Puasa that's coming up. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ronnie, for joining us. And Dr. Arya, any last words?
Yes, I think even we are in the social distancing, but for me, we are closing together virtually. So I think everybody are closing together more than we have been doing before. So I think now I can connect with Mahasarakham University in the northeastern part of Thailand, 500 kilometers far, in a minute. I can meet them every day. I can meet you guys from Singapore, from Malaysia, and also I can connect with my friend in America. So I think now it's no more distancing. It's become closing together without borders.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arya. And now, Dr. Razia, last words from you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harila. I would like to highlight two important key points, I think. First, landscape architect must go back to perceive landscape as system. And then number two, I guess, COVID actually has made landscape architect and landscape architecture more visible, important and needed. So thank you very much again to ILAM and Dr. Harila for inviting me representing UiTM for this session. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Dr. Razia for accepting our invitation. And then finally, Prof. Hasanuddin, any last words from you?
Okay, I think my final word before we end, I think for each of us, either who's listening, my students, or anywhere around the world, is if you're happy with the life that you had before pre-COVID, for example, just remember that if you're happy with that, we can still keep that, we can still maintain that. And despite many shortcomings that we may have, either in terms of not be able to travel far, in terms of financially, we may not have the full amount of money that we usually have, for example. But remember, one needs to be resourceful. Work with what you have. At the end of the day, but do not compromise on what you want, in terms of your needs, or in terms of your whatever that you perceive that will make you happy. But please be resourceful. Then they do not give excuses as to whether things are not good enough. You don't have this and you don't have that. To me, it's just an excuse. As the chairman said, the chairperson said that we are so adaptive, we are so resourceful. So we have to use that ability for us to move on, because life doesn't stop with you. It has to move on. So final word is thank you very much for inviting me, and hopefully everyone will be in good health, and hopefully we see some glimpse of hope in the immediate future with regards to what we're facing now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof, for your sharing. And on behalf of ILAM, I would like to thank all of the panels, first of all, for accepting the invitation to share about what they do at their respective universities in this webinar. And then to thank them for the very rich and fruitful sharing. So if you're watching this, after the session, please share it to your colleagues, because I think this session is not only important for lecturers and students, but also people in the industry, because this is what the future will be like, because the graduates will soon enter the industry. And before we end, don't forget to screenshot your comments to get ILAM CPD. And then you can also reshare this video from ILAM's Facebook or also from YouTube. So from me, I would like to wish everyone Selamat Hari Raya Idul Fitri, Maaf Zahir Batin. And if you have any suggestions of future webinars that you would like ILAM to organize, please drop your comment and give us suggestions and feedback. So until our next time, I wish everyone a good Raya soon. Stay safe, stay home, stay healthy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and goodbye.